the energy discovery that could outlive the sun. It began with a paradox that should not exist: an energy source so small, so stable, that it could last longer than the stars themselves. And once scientists understood what they were seeing, there was no way to forget it. To understand why this matters now, we need to look at how humanity has always powered itself. Fire, wind, water, fossil fuels, nuclear reactions. Every era depended on extracting energy from systems that eventually decay. Even the sun, the most powerful engine we know, is burning through a finite supply. Our civilization has always lived on borrowed time. The modern world exposed that weakness. Energy demand exploded while the planet's limits became impossible to ignore. Climate instability, resource scarcity, geopolitical tension. Power was no longer just about electricity. It was about survival. And scientists began asking a radical question. What if energy did not have to burn, split, or decay at all? The answer emerged from the quiet edges of physics. Researchers studying exotic states of matter noticed something strange. Certain systems resisted change almost completely. They stored energy in configurations protected not by fuel, but by structure. Once formed, these states would persist for extraordinary lengths of time, unaffected by heat, radiation, or decay. At first, it sounded theoretical, an elegant idea with no practical future. But experiments kept confirming it. Energy locked into these systems refused to leak away. Losses dropped toward zero. Stability increased as conditions worsened. The harsher the environment, the stronger the containment became. This defied every intuition about energy. Stability was supposed to cost effort. Storage required maintenance. Nothing lasted forever. And yet, these systems hinted at power sources that could endure for centuries, even millennia, without replenishment. What began as a physics curiosity quickly drew attention from engineers, governments, and industries. Because if energy could be stored without decay, civilization itself could change shape. And that raised a question as unsettling as it was hopeful. If energy can outlive the sun, what kind of world would it create? The promise of near-eternal energy did not arrive as a finished machine. It arrived as a principle. A new way of thinking about how energy behaves when matter is arranged just right. Instead of fighting entropy, these systems sidestepped it. Scientists discovered that certain quantum states were topologically protected. Their stability did not depend on constant input or control. It depended on geometry at the deepest level of reality. Disturbances could shake them, heat them, even damage parts of the system, and the stored energy remained intact. This opened a door engineers had never seen before. Batteries that did not degrade, power systems that did not leak, devices that could be charged once and operate for lifetimes. The idea was not unlimited energy, but persistent energy, power that refused to fade. The conflict emerged immediately. These states were difficult to create and even harder to scale. They required extreme precision, exotic materials, conditions close to absolute zero. The gap between laboratory success and real-world application was enormous. Yet progress accelerated. Each year brought improvements. Temperatures rose. Materials became more practical. Designs grew more robust. What once required delicate isolation began to survive in imperfect environments. The impossible edged closer to the inevitable. Governments recognized the stakes. An energy source that does not decay disrupts everything. Infrastructure, economics, warfare. Control of energy has always meant control of societies. A stable, persistent source threatens existing power structures as much as it promises relief. Critics warned of overhype. The systems did not create energy. They stored it. Charging still required input. But supporters argued that permanence changed the equation. Energy captured once could be preserved indefinitely. Waste vanished. Efficiency approached theoretical limits. The deeper tension was philosophical. Civilization is built around cycles of consumption and renewal. A power source that does not decay challenges that rhythm. It alters how societies plan, invest, and even think about the future. If energy no longer fades, neither do the consequences of how it is used. And that realization forces a harder question. Not whether we can build such systems, but whether we are prepared for the permanence they introduce. As development continued, the conflict shifted from physics to society. Persistent energy systems promise stability, but stability carries its own risks. When power no longer degrades, control can become entrenched. Infrastructure built once could dominate for generations. Industries face disruption. Energy markets depend on turnover. Fuels are consumed, replaced, and traded. A system that needs no replacement collapses those cycles. Entire economic models built on extraction and renewal would have to be rewritten. Resistance followed, quiet but intense. Security experts raised different concerns. Energy that endures for centuries could power systems far beyond their original intent. Autonomous infrastructure, long-lived surveillance networks, machines designed to operate without human oversight. Permanence amplifies both benefit and threat. Meanwhile, researchers confronted a subtler challenge. Nothing in nature is truly static. Even protected states exist within a universe of change. The more stable these systems became, the more catastrophic a rare failure could be. A single disruption might release energy accumulated over decades in an instant. Designs evolved to address this. Layered safety, gradual discharge pathways, controlled decay options. Engineers learned that absolute permanence was not desirable. Stability had to coexist with release. This mirrored a deeper truth. The goal was not immortality for energy, but reliability over human timescales. Centuries, not eternity. Long enough to transform civilization without freezing it in place. The emotional peak came when prototypes ran continuously without measurable loss. Years passed. Measurements held steady. For the first time, humanity touched a form of power that felt patient, quiet, unrushed by decay. And in that patience lay both hope and warning. Systems that last longer than people demand foresight beyond individual lifetimes. Energy that outlives the sun forces civilizations to think in eras, not years. The breakthrough settled into perspective as its implications became clear. Persistent energy did not promise endless growth or unlimited power. It promised time. Time to plan. Time to stabilize systems long enough for wisdom to catch up with capability. Cities imagined infrastructure that did not crumble every generation. Remote regions envisioned power without supply chains. Space exploration quietly recalculated its limits. Missions once constrained by fuel suddenly stretched across decades. Civilization's horizon expanded, but so did responsibility. Systems built to last centuries would shape lives long after their creators were gone. Decisions made today would echo forward without easy revision. Energy permanence turned short-term thinking into a liability. Researchers reframed their mission, not to eliminate decay, but to manage it intelligently, to design power that endures without becoming rigid, flexible stability, reliable impermanence. The science matured from ambition into stewardship. What emerged was not a miracle machine, but a mirror. A reminder that technology reflects the values embedded within it. Power that lasts demands ethics that last just as long. The discovery that energy could outlive the sun did not solve humanity's problems. It removed one excuse. Scarcity was no longer inevitable. Waste was no longer required. The future became less about survival and more about choice. And that is the quiet weight of this science. When time is no longer the enemy, every decision becomes louder. Sometimes the smallest shift in perspective becomes the beginning of a new future.